a leader. Every one of us is a leader. I don't care how young you are. You could be 10. You could be Brooke's age. How old are you, Brooke? Brooke is 12 now. You could be 12. But Brooke has a couple younger sisters, got a couple younger brothers. So even when you're 12, you a leader. You know why? Because they looking at you. You be 12 or 112. You a leader. Somebody is taking something from you. They watching you, they developing their own principles. If they see you cheat, then they think they can cheat. If they see Brooke lying, they gonna lie. You a leader. Every one of us is a leader. Now here's my definition of leadership, which brings us full circle, and I'm gonna sit down. My definition is this: you can't lead people unless you love people. You can't lead unless you love, and you can't save unless you serve. I want y'all to say that with me, because I want to make sure y'all, if y'all don't get nothing else I said, just get that, and that's all that needs to be gotten. Repeat after me. You can't lead people. Oh, come on, say it like you mean it. You can't lead people if you don't love people. And you can't save people if you don't serve people. Say it one more again. You can't lead people if you don't love people. And you can't save people if you don't serve people. Now here's the point. If you're going to be a leader in this community, if we're going to turn around all those things in our community that contest our humanity every day, if we're going to turn those things around, it's going to have to start with some love and some service. Somebody's got to love, somebody's got to serve. That's where it's going to start if we're going to turn this around, with loving people and serving people. Let me tell you what I mean by love. Love means this. Now here's the close juxtaposing against the opening. I told you earlier tonight when I got up here that my whole life I've been wrestling with this notion of why it is that we don't spend more time in churches helping people understand how to practice love in everyday living. Now here's what I mean by love. I wish somebody had told me this when I was a child. Some of us in the church think that somehow we are better than, that we are elevated because we know God and we worship him. We think that we up here and everybody else down here. Let me be clear about this. Love means on a human level. I'm not trying to play God. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about that scripture about occupying until he comes. On the human level, love means, brothers and sisters, that everybody is worthy just because. When you leave tonight, you marinate on that. You wrestle with that. That's all that love means. If you've ever been looking for a definition of love, I know we say all the things. We think because we in the church, we good and quick about saying God is love. And he is. God is love. God is love. But if we're going to be God-like, if we're going to be Christ-like, then we got to take on his thinking. And his thinking is that everybody is worthy just because. His thinking is, you all are mine. I created every one of you. I care about the lives you live. I care about the air you breathe. I care about the water you drink. I care about every aspect of your life. When you maltreat me, I still care about you. When you deny me, I still care about you. He cares about the lives that we live, because every one of us is worthy. Why? Just because. Everybody got that? We all worthy. Why? Just because. What does that just because mean, Tavis? It means I don't care who your mama and them are. You worthy just because. I don't care how rich you are. You worthy just because. I don't care how poor you are. You worthy. I don't care how smart you are. You worthy. I don't care how illiterate you are. You are worthy. Y'all got this? That's why this brother here, we celebrate him tonight, and others in the community like him, because he was worthy just because. His mama didn't get it, but he was still worthy. His daddy didn't get it, but he was still worthy. Somebody in your life don't get your humanity. Somebody in your life ain't trying to celebrate your humanity. Somebody's not trying to celebrate you and uplift you and support you and get behind you. But I got news for you. You worthy. You worthy. You are worthy. And you are worthy just because. Just because. Not because of who you are, not because of who you know, not because of where you live, not because of how much money you make, how many degrees you have. You are worthy just because. That's what love means. And service means simply this. I cannot want anything for myself that I do not also want for you. That's what service means. I cannot want anything for myself that I also do not want for you. If I want to make money, I got to be cool with you making money. If I want a nice house, I got to be cool with you wanting a nice house. If I want health care, I got to be cool with you getting health care. If I want a good education, then you deserve a good education. You see how this works? So love means everybody's worthy just because, and serving people means that you want the same thing for everybody else that you want for yourself. You want the same thing for those kids that you want for your kids. That's what it means to love and serve everybody. Now imagine this. Imagine if we lived in a world. Imagine if we lived in a world where that was truly our modus operandi. Put another way, imagine if we lived in a world where that's how things were truly done. Can you imagine our government? I know you can't because it's hard to even fathom this. Just dream with me for just a second. But imagine our government implementing policies based upon love and service. I'm going to hear the announcement going back to L.A., the same announcement I heard coming from L.A. Same announcement you hear every time you get on an airplane. They don't want you to be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. So they tell you, in the highly unlikely event, my sister Pam and Pam's going back to L.A. with me for a week, for her, to hang out with me for a week. Y'all pray for me next week. I got Pam in my house for a whole week. But we're going to hear the same announcement when we fly back to L.A. They don't want you to be scared. So they say it so nicely, so sweetly, so politely. In the highly unlikely event of a sudden loss of air pressure in the cabin. Y'all heard this before? Isn't it nice how they talk about you dying, but they say it so sweetly. In the highly unlikely event of a sudden loss of air pressure in the cabin, the oxygen mask will drop from the compartment above your head. Take the mask, put it on yourself first before you assist the person next to you. What's my point, Tavis? You can't help nobody else unless you first help. Thank you very much. God bless you.
I'd like to thank you all for inviting me to this event, and I learned a lot tonight. So thank you so much from what I've heard. Is one of my responsibilities in this community is to make sure that the YMCA is accessible and also inclusive of all people. And I want you to know that I'm committed to all aspects of our community. And I want to make sure that when we place YMCAs in our community, we do that so that all neighborhoods are served and not just the ones that bring in the most money. And we want you to know that through our YMCA, during my service, while I'm here in the community, I want to make sure that fairness and equity are the values that we hold during this particular time. I also am committed to what Derwin has put together here tonight around an anti-violence stance, and any ways that you all see that the YMCA can provide programs or service, please help me by letting me know so that I can provide the kind of leadership in this community that you would be proud of. Thank you all for inviting me here tonight. I'm going to make my remarks short and give you all a break. God bless each one of you. Thank you.
Hello there. Travis. That's a private joke. And Derwin, you know it's a very private joke. My good fraternity brother, and I'm going to call you the $1 billion man. I mean, because the Marco's Pizza operation and I'll say publicly, I don't know much about how good the pizzas are because I'm too fat to eat some of those. But I'm going to say that you got one right out by my business, so I'm going to clearly partake of that. And the Travis is a private joke because he's a member of my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. And I'm not sure that he even graduated from Indiana University with his bachelor's before he had already gotten his doctorate. I mean, now that shows you how much of a superstar he really is. And I could give you accolades about Tavis all over the place.